Lily May, checking in from Montpelier. Am I saying that right?
Montpelier.
Yes, thank you for calling. We literally have to take a break in about a minute, a little over a minute, so I'm going to have you get your question in. And, Ron, you might want a quick, short answer and then carry it through on the other side if you've got more to say. But go ahead with your question, Lily May.
It's just about 2 weeks ago since what the secular system called supermoon, but I thought it looked like a blood moon, and the eclipse, which was very quick, I thought, to my, and just to the north of it was what looked like a comet. I don't know what it was, but a bright streak with a white tail at the same time that the eclipse of the moon. I wondered what you made of that. I thought of Jesus coming as lightning and the darkness over the church.
Well, those are great questions, and a lot of people thought that at the recent blood moon, the end of the world was going to come. But I'll tell you more about that as soon as we get back from this break, okay?
And Ron is a radio professional, I'm just saying. That was brilliant, Ron. When we come back, Ron will comment on the recent blood moon, and if you've got questions about that or other things regarding end times, prophecy, what's going on in the news today, how it relates to Scripture, give us a call, 877-933-2484, 877-93-FAITH, or Susie at myfaithradio.com. More with Dr. Ron Rhodes in a moment. Tuning in today, I'm Susie Larson. This is Live the Promise. So glad to talk to Dr. Ron Rhodes. We get him on every month for Bible Answers with Ron Rhodes, and I hear from you. He's like your favorite guest, so it's so fun to have him on and to take your questions. So please feel free to call. Don't be embarrassed by your questions, but if you feel a little bit shy about your question, call in anonymously. That's totally okay. 877-933-2484. And Lily May asked before the break about the recent blood moons and what you had to say about that, Ron. Love to hear your thoughts.
Well, there were a number of recent blood moons in recent history. One was in April 15th, 2014, and then October 8th, 2014, May 4th, 2015, and most recently September 28th, 2015. And there's a lot of people thinking that maybe this heralded something like the end of the world, or maybe a major sign of the times. Some people were teaching that these blood moons always indicate something is going to happen in regard to Israel, but it's kind of ill-defined. They're not sure what's going to happen with Israel, but the blood moon always says something's about to happen. And they base their views on a couple of passages that refer to blood moons. For example, I'm thinking about Joel 2, verse 31, which makes reference to the moon turning to blood or turning red. And so a lot of these people suggest that God uses the heavens as his billboards to announce coming events, and therefore blood moons are a great way for God to speak prophetically to people. I have a little bit different view, Susie. I've got some good brothers and sisters who have put a lot of stock in this, and, I still love them and everything, but I just disagree with the whole idea. I think it's kind of a form of soft date setting. To say that as soon as this blood moon is going to happen, that automatically means that something must happen as related to Israel. And I really like for people to be cautious about this kind of stuff, only because, there's, for example, the fact that some people might end up damaging their faith if they think that, for example, the Bible said that something was going to happen on a blood moon, and if nothing happens, are they going to stop believing in Bible prophecy? Well, some people have. Humanists and atheists like to watch Christians set dates, and talk about blood moons, and then they run articles in their magazines mocking Christians when expected events don't pan out. And I think today, as a result of a lot of the date setting that's gone on among people, I think that we've got sort of a spirit of prophetic agnosticism that has descended on the church. And that may be a word someone's not heard of. It just means that we can't know. We just can't know for sure. So a lot of people have no idea whether you can trust Bible prophecy or not as a result of all this date setting.
And maybe on a broader scale, just this needs to be said, I'm going to get to you, Miranda, calling in from Duluth in just a moment. But on even a broader scale, it seems whenever we get sensational and seek sensationalism or chase after signs instead of chasing after God, we lose our way, and we are mock worthy, if that is such a phrase, because it just seems like there's some part of the Christian faith sometimes. I mean, we live by faith, not by sight, but some of it's the daily grind. The most sacred thing you can do is get up, go to work, do a really good job at what you're doing, come home, love your spouse. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you see people chasing and talking. Angels are talking, this thing and that thing, and it's a sensation-seeking kind of faith going from one adrenaline, experience to another. And that, to me, keeps you from getting grounded in your faith, I guess. And maybe you listening, maybe you have a different opinion about it. But do you know what I'm saying, where you seek God instead of the sign that you're looking for?
Well, I guess the way I look at it is that we really ought to be like the Bereans in Acts 17 and test all things against Scripture. No matter who says what, and this includes me and Susie, and no matter who says what, test it against the Scriptures and make sure that it's biblical. And when you do that, you'll find that there's not a single Bible verse anywhere that says blood moons will automatically prophesy some significant event for Israel. The Bible just doesn't say that. Now, having said that, let me say something good about these people. They're excited about the reality of Bible prophecy and that the Lord is coming. They're excited about the rapture, and I think that's good. That part I agree with. I think we need to return to that because there's a lot of people that have sort of lost their hope in the future, prophetic scenarios outlined in Scripture. So that part is good, but the part that you got to watch out for is not to fall for date setting, because, like I said, that can damage your faith. It can damage new believers' faith. It can turn into prophetic agnosticism. The humanists, have ammo against people. And also, let me just tell you this: people make decisions based on their interpretation of prophecy. I know of Christians personally who have actually stopped their work. They've quit their jobs, sold their houses, and used the money to go door to door talking to people about the coming into the world based upon, some of this kind of stuff we're talking about. And how do you think they felt when it didn't pan out? So all I'm saying is test it against Scripture and make sure that you only hold to what is actually in the Bible.
Good word. Good word.